Same clipper, same steps. One of these blends came out clean and the other one came out choppy. The only thing that changed was the speed setting. I'm a barber and licensed instructor, and clipper speed is the most overlooked setting on your clipper that nobody taught you to understand. By the end of this video, you'll know how and when to use different clipper speeds to get better blends. And once you see it, you'll start seeing it in your own work, which is the whole point of this video. So here's what we're covering: how speed affects blades, and then the strategy. 2 speeds: normal mode for fading and detailing, and boost mode for taking off bulk. And I'll show you each one on this mannequin. Then I'll give you the best bulk removal method on thick, coily hair, because nobody ever covers it. And if your clipper only has 1 speed, just stay with me, because the method still applies. Your hand speed determines how fast the haircut goes. First, what speed actually is. No engineering degree needed. Your clipper has 2 blades. One is fixed, and the other one slides across it side to side, thousands of times per minute. And that's the RPM number that clipper brands love to throw around. RPM stands for revolutions per minute, which is how many times the motor makes a full rotation to move the blade back and forth. You'll also see SPM, which stands for strokes per minute, which is how many times per minute the blade moves in either direction, left or right. Metal sliding on metal makes friction, and friction makes heat. Turn the blade speed up, and the blades heat up even faster. And that's a thermodynamics lesson in under a minute. Here's why this matters. High heat dulls out the blades, which causes them to drag and pull hair. Instead of slicing through the hair clean, it starts pulling it. And that's the tug that your clients feel and flinch at. And that's the pass that comes out choppy instead of clean. And hot metal resting on someone's neck for 20 minutes is never a good thing. Speed also does a second thing. It's how fast the blades feed through the hair. Run it slow into a thick section of hair and the blades bog down. It catches and pulls. Run it fast on fine detail work and the blade gets ahead of you and takes off more hair than you asked for. So the whole game is matching the speed to the job in front of you. I'm using the Switch Surge because it has 2 speeds with adaptive torque to maintain a smooth cutting experience. So you get consistency with every cut. And if your clipper has different speed settings, everything I'm covering in this video applies to you. And if your clipper only has 1 speed, don't worry. I've got a whole section for you before we're done with the video. All right, so here's the strategy. 2 speeds for different jobs. Normal mode. For most clippers, that's in the 5,000 to 6,000 RPM range. This mode is for fading and detail work. Here's why it matters. Normal mode is ideal because it feeds through the hair cleanly while still moving slow enough to control how much hair is being cut. It also gives you more room for error and lets you feather out the blend whenever you're detailing. Using high speeds for fading and detailing, it is a bit risky. It shrinks your margin for error and it will often take off too much hair, especially for less experienced barbers. So right here, watch the transition zone as I work it. Every hair that enters the blade gets cut on that pass without compromising the cut. Normal mode also runs the coolest, and that matters more than people think because detail work is the slowest part of the haircut. It's the blade that sits near the skin the longest. So the speed you fade with is the speed that stays comfortable the longest. And that's not by coincidence, that's by design. Boost mode, or high mode, hovers around the 7,000 plus RPM mark, and that's for taking off weight. Long, thick hair needs enough oomph behind it so that the clipper doesn't bog down mid-pass. This way the clipper can power through the hair and keep cutting the hair smooth. But here's the second half of this. High blade speed builds the heat up faster, but that's if you're not using the Switch Surge that uses active air cooling to keep it from overheating. So boost mode is your bulk removal mode, not your default mode. Take down the bulk, then drop back down to normal mode for the rest of the cut. And here's a habit that's worth stealing. At the halfway point of the haircut, lay the blades on the back of your wrist for 1 to 2 seconds and test it. That quick touch test tells you everything about where your heat level is before your client tells you the hard way. Now here's the part that nobody covers. Bulk removal on thick, curly hair. Dense, tight curls are where slow blade speeds punish you. The blades bog down and the hair snags. And that's the reason why some clients tense up before you even touch them, because they've experienced it before. And that's because the barber was using the wrong speed with the wrong technique. So on thick, coily hair, bulk comes off in boost mode, and your technique carries the rest. Here's the technique. Use a bigger guard on the first pass. Short strokes until the blades begin to feed through the hair consistently. And in between passes, pick the hair back out so that the curls stand up, because coily hair wants to hold its shape and curl right back to the scalp as soon as possible. So what looks like it's done, it's only half picked out. And let the clipper do the cutting. The second you start to feel yourself pressing, stop. Don't go digging. Let the weight of the clipper guide you through the hair. Applying pressure doesn't cut hair. Blade speed and the rate that you feed the clipper through the hair is what cuts it. And if your clipper only has one speed, you still use the same method because your hand speed determines how fast you feed the clipper through the hair. This section right here is for you. Most one-speed machines run somewhere in the middle RPM range. So here's the method. For bulk removal, instead of powering through it in one big pass, take it down in 2 guard steps. Use a guard that's a size or 2 bigger than what the final length will be. Smaller cuts mean the machine never bogs down and no tugging. You minimize the risk of pulling and tugging the hair and making your client uncomfortable. Now for fading and detailing. Your clipper is running faster than a normal mode would, so you need to be more intentional with how fast you feed the clipper through the hair and slow down the strokes. The blade speed you can't change, but the hand speed you can. And near the skin, hand speed is most of the control anyway. So how fast you feed the clipper through the hair will determine how clean it cuts and whether the blend comes out choppy or smooth. Using a 2-speed clipper, even easier. Normal mode is your detail and fade setting. Boost mode is your bulk removal setting, and you blend on normal mode with an extra pass or 2. The right speed to the right job is the lesson. If the clipper won't change speed, the hand speed does. All right, so back to where we started. Which side got the wrong speed? See the inconsistency and how choppy the blend looks? That's a slow blade skipping hairs in a blend zone. The right speed, but going too fast. The right side still use normal mode, but with proper hand speed and technique. So every hair got cut on every pass. Now you see it, and you won't unsee it in your own work or anybody else's. If you know a barber whose blends keep coming out choppy, and he's over there blaming the system, send him this before he buys another set of clippers. So let's land the plane. Fade and detail in normal mode, and remove bulk and boost mode. Heat is a tail, and remember to do the wrist test at the halfway point of the haircut. Thick, coily hair needs blade speed, not pressure. And 1 speed just means that your hand speed determines how fast the haircut goes. If you got value out of this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to comment what you guys want to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next video.